Mary de Rachewiltz, Ezra Pound's daughter and defender, dies at 101. That's the headline from the New York Times, marking the passing of a woman who spent nearly a century navigating the complicated shadow of one of modernism's most controversial poets. Mary de Rachewiltz died on July 24 at her home, a 13th-century castle called Schloss Brunnenberg, perched in the mountains outside Murano, Italy, near the Austrian border. She was 101 years old. Her death was announced by the Ezra Pound Society. Born Maria Rudge on July 9, 1925, in Bressanone, also known as Brixen, in northern Italy, she was the daughter of Ezra Pound and his lover Olga Rudge, an Ohio-born concert violinist. The pair were volatile artists who didn't want children encumbering their lives. So as a baby, Maria was sent away to be raised by a poor farm couple, Jacob and Hannah Marcher, in the Italian Tyrol. There she grew up as a shepherdess, speaking the local German dialect, far from the literary salons of her parents. Her mother mostly neglected her. Her father visited occasionally, sometimes taking her on weekend trips to Venice where he and Olga lived. In Venice her name was anglicized to Mary, and her severe mother scolded her for speaking German. Pound would leave each morning for his writing studio, but sometimes returned to take her for a sandwich and orangeade at an American bar, or travel by Vaporetto to the Lido. Pound also had a wife, Dorothy Shakespeare, living in Rapallo on the Ligurian coast, a complicated domestic arrangement that defined Mary's early years. Despite the abandonment, Mary remained devoted to her father, who died in 1972. She wrote a memoir sympathetic to him, translated his formidably complex magnum opus, the Cantos, into Italian, and opened Schloss Brunnenberg to conferences of Pound scholars. She welcomed them by announcing, "You may say anything you like about Ezra Pound." That openness belied a fierce protectiveness. Pound's wartime record was damning. He broadcast anti-Allied, virulently anti-Semitic propaganda on Italian radio, leading to a U.S. treason indictment and over a decade confined in a Washington mental hospital after being found unfit to stand trial. Mary minimized this. In 1986 she told La Stampa, the charge was fascism and anti-Semitism. For an American citizen, this shouldn't be a crime. As Pound said, free speech without free speech on the radio is worthless. Yet Pound's literary stature remains enormous. He helped edit T.S. Eliot's The Waste Land, shaped Ernest Hemingway's early prose, and helped publish James Joyce's Ulysses. His own poetry stood at the vanguard of modernism. Mary de Rachewiltz spent her long life arguing that this genius could be separated from the politics that stained it. She leaves behind a translated legacy, a castle full of archives, and a debate that shows no sign of settling. Thank you for listening. This has been a summary of the New York Times obituary by Trip Gabriel.